Hey guys, so it is Friday. All of your assignments are due today. You have your colonial influence that talks about the Magna Carta, English Bill of Rights, Cato's letters. Um, that's due today, as well as your Hobbes versus Locke, Avengers, and a Bug's Life activity. A lot of you guys kept sending me an email saying that the Bug's Life video isn't working. If you are still having issues with that, if you click on the video where I'm giving instructions, if you go to the 14-minute point, it's like 14:05, 14:06 or something like that. It'll start the Bugs Life video and you can watch it within that. I'm not really sure why it's not working. Um, but that was also an option. So anyway, we're going to look at the two other Enlightenment thinkers that I didn't get to the other day. So we've talked about and Locke. Hobbes had that idea of natural rights, the right to life, liberty, and property. He was kind of elitist sort of guy. He thought that if you didn't own property, you didn't have a right to participate in government. He obviously was a big fan of representative democracies like a republic or a constitutional monarchy. He grew up in England as they were transitioning into that constitutional monarchy. So it's definitely something that he thought was ideal. He thought it was perfection. Versus Locke or versus Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes was not a fan of that constitutional monarchy. He's quoted as saying that people should be not feared, that people need to be controlled, that they are brutish and they are um, just incapable of governing themselves. One thing that Hobbes and Locke did agree on was the concept of social contract, where you have to give up some of your rights for a government to actually protect its citizens. Some people argue that this isn't necessarily the best idea, um, but it is. That's where the inspiration for a lot of our forms of government comes from, is these two individuals. They also, Hobbes thought that an absolute monarchy with like a king, a direct one individual leader would be best for people because we were incapable of governing ourselves. Now let's go on to Montesquieu and Rousseau. These two also set the foundation. Like whenever they were creating our Constitution and our Declaration of Independence, these four Enlightenment thinkers, along with Voltaire and a few others, they pretty much took their books and turned them into our founding documents. Montesquieu is known for, he wrote a book. Um, oh, what was it? The Spirit of Laws, I believe. He wrote the Spirit of Laws, um, and in it he outlined the representative democracies, saying that those were the preferred forms of government. But within that, he said that it was ideal because they separated the power within different branches of government. So the concept of separation of powers, like for us here in the United States, our separation of powers is the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branches. He also elaborated on that a little bit further with this idea of checks and balance. So when we say they have the ability to check each other and also to balance each other out. So for example, if Congress passes a law, our legislative branch makes the law. Well, to approve that law, it has to be signed off by the president. Let's say the president signs off or doesn't sign off on it, that power of veto. Congress has the power to override that. They're checking each other. um, the only branch of government that has the ability to rule things on whether or not they're legally able to happen, constitutional or unconstitutional, that relies to the judicial branch. So these three branches of government, that separation of powers comes from the idea of Montesquieu. Same as the idea of checks and balances, how branches of government should, one branch shouldn't be more powerful than the others, that they should be able to balance each other out, and same as check each other to make sure they don't step out of line and get too powerful. So Montesquieu gave us that concept. So when he wrote in his Spirit of Laws, these ideas. Then we get down to Rousseau. And with Rousseau, he he wrote a book called The Social Contract, but he didn't necessarily agree with John Locke and Thomas Hobbes when it came to giving up certain rights. He didn't think that a government should control people, that the people should be able to control themselves. One word that he chooses to use instead of most of the time you hear it when they refer to like a king or a queen, and that's the word sovereign, meaning a supreme ruler or a supreme leader. But he uses it in terms of the people. So, like Rousseau's the sovereign people, right? That means that they have the ability to control and govern themselves. So when he's talking in terms of social contract, he's not talking in terms of like a king or a queen controlling like some of your rights. Nobody should take some of your rights according to him. It should be allowed only to the people, and people should be considered free. Rousseau have these four people: Locke, Hobbes, Montesquieu, and Rousseau. There is a rather long reading, but it's really quite good. Um, and it breaks down each individual's beliefs and their inspirations towards government aspirations. Um, we have Hobbes, Locke, Montesquieu, and Rousseau, and it breaks down each person in a different section. At the top, in this first column, these are a fact. So you're going to list one fact, a non debatable, that just means a fact about Locke, a fact about Hobbes, a fact about Montesquieu and Rousseau. And this section is your opinion about it. So, for example, if I had Thomas Jefferson as a term, my non debatable would be that Enlightenment thinkers inspired him when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. It is a factual statement for the evidence that you have John Locke and his pretty much exact same words of life, liberty, and property, whereas Thomas Jefferson said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The debatable aspect would be just my opinion about um, of all the Enlightenment thinkers, he preferred the ideas of John Locke. Um, do I have proof of that? Not really, but that's my opinion towards this. So, your opinion when it comes to his beliefs or anything in the writing, an opinion you pull out of this, that's what you put in this box. You just have one of each of these. So, altogether, you have 4 non debatables and 4 debatables, and that's it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Send me an email. I'm pretty quick to respond. Um, but like I said, this isn't going to be due until next week. I'm going to have this due on Tuesday. Um, we'll review on Monday, and then we will go from there. If y'all have questions, please let me know. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Stay COVID free, I hope. I hope y'all are feeling good. Um, we're still trucking along and trying to make it through. But y'all, I can't wait to see your face. Bye.